and then we can do a podcast. All right, let's do this.
Hello, baby. Hello, nasty. Hello there. Hello. I say hello. Hello, friend. Well, hello, little girl. Hello, my treacherous friends. Hello, operator. The beginning of everything. Welcome back, my friends. It's showtime.
What is this? A new episode, you say?
No way. We're regularly doing once-a-year episodes now? Awesome.
Welcome to the annual Brink podcast.
Jay, when you sit down to do your podcast, do you have to clear off, like make sure you don't put your computer in paint and other crap and clay and is your area for your podcast dirty as hell?
Paint?
Paint, slime, every form of clay.
Why do you have paint where you podcast?
Because the only place I can podcast now is the same place my kids use for arts and crafts. And
you have an entire
I can't even,
multi-story house, and you can't have like one little podcast studio for this professional 15-year going podcast.
I can only do the podcast in the basement. I can only start it early because I've told my kids know nothing of the podcast. I've just told them I have a work call. And only place I could sit down here to do it is a place where I could not sit today because it was covered in paint and I have to get my wife to clean this area. I'm so annoyed this whole table is covered with paint and and this other white clay stuff, I don't know. There's no place to sit. So right now my computer is set up on a ping pong table and I'm ready to start Brink. Let's do this, Jay.
This is the most professional podcast you'll ever see or hear, folks.
Jay, I have a question for you. Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Okay, if I don't ask you a question, the show's really going to go nowhere, right?
Probably, yeah.
Okay.
A huge change from what we usually do.
Jay, if I gave you $100,000, I said I will give you $100,000 if you can do one real, totally good form cartwheel in 24 hours, would you be able to do that for $100,000? Would you take the challenge and would you be able to do it?
I mean, if I don't lose anything, I'll take the challenge, but I don't think I will be getting the money.
I mean, you could lose you can go to the hospital for when you mess this up.
Right. But yeah, I don't think I would get the money.
You don't think in 24 hours you can have someone train you? $100,000 if you can do it on your own, $50,000 if you can do it with a trainer. 24 hours, all you have to do is complete one cartwheel. And all you have to do really for a cartwheel, you don't have to be amazing shape or anything. You just have to be really believe you're going to do it. So you can flip over.
You just have to believe?
You have to believe.
I feel like this is like a Saturday morning cartoon. All you have to do is believe and you can do it.
You don't think so? A lot of it, if I run to do one, what holds me back is fear, Jay. Much like rest, it's like a metaphor for life. Mm-hmm. What holds me back is fear. If you run and you really think you could do it, I bet you could do a cartwheel. My daughter does, by the way, she's 9. She does a million cartwheels. She even broke her wrist doing cartwheels. But she does them all the time. The stuff she does, basically, I see her do her stuff. I'm like, if I try to do half of what she was doing, I would never I would never leave the hospital.
I mean, if your 50-pound daughter broke her wrist doing a cartwheel, I can just imagine what my fat ass would do. I would shatter my elbow and wreck.
Jay, do you have another way to get $100,000 in 24 hours? That's a pretty good deal.
Are you offering me $100,000?
Sure, why not, Jay? I'm that confident in your inability to do
it. I mean, if it's your money, I'll take you up on that.
You don't think you wouldn't take the challenge, or would you take the challenge? There's no downside besides your medical condition thereafter.
I would take the challenge, yes. I have a 24-hour gym, so they have a mat that I could use to fall down repeatedly on.
I'm sure the mat you'll be fine with the mat.
And yeah, I would take it, but I have no confidence that I would. I don't have the power of believe.
This should be a game show on NBC. Each week, we take 4 people that look like us and challenge them to do a cartwheel. You
I
just
think
film
you'd
them
have
over
to,
24 hours.
I think you'd have to change it up from cartwheels. Like a 22 episode season, and every episode is an hour of people trying to do cartwheels.
There's a show that's on like its 5th season involving people eating hot wings.
Yeah, but it's
They're really hot wings.
yeah. I mean, I don't know. I feel like that's more interesting than like an hour.
There's
shape
what's
through
interesting
trying
about
to
eating
do cartwheels.
hot wings for season after season. I know they do an interview with it also. I can interview and be like, "How's it going at work, Jay?" "Oh my God, I think I broke my back." "Are you okay, Jay?" "Anyway, Jay, what's your life ambition?"
So I've been trying to lose weight without much success, and just keep that in mind. This weekend I was babysitting.
Okay, Jay.
I was.
What do you want to tell us what your weight is?
I don't care. It's 236,
Okay. And what's your dream weight, Jay?
195.
Okay. So you have like 40 pounds to go?
Yeah.
Okay. Tell us more, Jay.
So this weekend I was.
Is it okay if I interrupt your story at least 30 times?
Well, I mean, you've been doing it for 396 episods. I would expect nothing less. I have a 30-second story that should take no less than 11 minutes.
Okay. You have 40 pounds to go. And how much weight do you think you'd lose trying to do a cartwheel for 24 hours?
1.
Okay. Go with your story.
So my wife had some friends over, and they brought their kids. So I got to babysit these 2 little girls.
How old?
3 and 6.
Okay.
And as you know, people of that age have no filter at all. So the 3-year-old asked me to read a story to them. So we sit on the couch, I get out the book, and I start reading.
Did they ask you if you were Humpty Dumpty?
No. So as I'm reading the book, the little girl looks over at me and she goes, "Why is your belly so big?" And I was like,
Did you tell her you were having a baby?
I guess those 3.5 pounds I lost aren't showing yet. I was like, can you take your kids back for a little bit while I just weep in a corner? Thank you.
This is what happens when you eat dessert every night.
Yeah, I said, well, I eat too much food. What can I tell you? This is what happens, little girl. Don't eat too much food.
Jay, but how did you get so big? I'm a little girl.
I got that. Thank you. Yes, I eat way too much food. Like a lot of food.
How did you lose the 3.5 pounds, Jay?
I joined a gym.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
How often you going?
Right now, twice a week. I'm trying. It's so hard when you commute because, like, if I go in the morning, I have to get up at like 5:45 in the morning. But if I go after work, it's like 12 hours after I get up, and I'm tired and I don't want to go. So I'm trying to figure something out. So basically, I go on like Friday and Sunday, or Friday and Saturday, and then I go for a long walk with my neighbors on a Sunday. So I get exercise like 3 days a week, but I'm trying to get up to 4 or 5.
What if, Jay, I told you I have a way for you to lose weight, a good amount of weight, get regular exercise, and save you a lot of money?
Does it rhyme with sharp meal?
I have actually no idea what you're trying to say.
Cartwheel.
What was it? Oh, okay. No. I have a very realistic way, and I bet I can save you a lot of money. Are you interested, Jay?
Does it involve eating black beans every day?
No. It's very simple, and you probably can eat more than you're eating now with my special method.
Okay.
Okay, you should walk to work.
So I was worried about getting up at 5:45. You want me to get up at like 3?
James, what are you, like 20 miles from the office?
Yeah, it's a 35-minute train ride, but it would probably be like a 3.5-hour walk.
So if you walked there and back every day, holy shit, in a month, all the weight's gone.
I'm actually going to look up how long it would take to walk, and then we'll calculate if I actually have enough time in the day to even do this.
Jay, are you going by a normal person's walking speed or your speed?
Well, we're going by my speed.
I can do about a mile every 20 minutes when I'm walking. I know you can do about 20 miles per 20 minutes.
I can make. I'll have to shave some time off of whatever Google Maps says, but
I think you might actually walk faster than the train.
Maybe. So it's saying that it would take me 7 hours each way.
Okay. So probably 6 because you're a pretty fast walker. Maybe 5, maybe 3. Okay, so
yeah, I don't know how
if
it's saying it's
what
taking.
time? What's confusing?
I think I got the address wrong because it's telling me it's going to take an hour and 45 minutes for me to get to work, and I definitely does not do that.
Okay. Jay, do you have any idea where you work?
Okay, there we go. Nope, still says 7 hours.
Okay, so 7 hours. What time do you have to get in the office? 9?
I make my own shift. So like right now I'm doing 8:30 to 5:30.
Oh, that was really interesting. Okay, so you have to leave the house at 1:30 a.m.
Mhm.
You get to work at 8:30.
Mhm.
And so it sounds like you leave work at 5:30.
Yeah,
So you'll get home at
12:30.
12:30. So do you think you have why you know what? Here, this is great, Jay. Even better. I was gonna save you money on the train ticket and the gym, but I can save you money on the apartment because by the time you walk home, you might as well just walk back. You could just instead of having an apartment, you could just stop off, eat something, and walk back to work. So you don't even need the apartment really. So I just saved you a ton of money, Jay, and you're gonna lose a lot of weight before you die.
I could run into the gym, shower at the gym, and then on the way back I'll pick up some food to eat.
Yeah, I mean this is goddamn brilliant, Jay.
Yeah,
like
it's a great idea.
I mean, like, are you starting tomorrow? When are you starting?
You're a problem solver.
Okay, I think I solved your problem, Jay. I mean, like, that's a lot. That's a solid 14 hours of walking. It would be almost impossible to like right now. You could probably eat like twice as much food as you're eating because you're going to be walking 14 hours a day.
Yeah, that is true.
Okay, so problem solved. Things are good, Jay. Are you going to be able to do the podcast as you're walking? You think you could like just set it up while you're just take the stuff with you? Because I don't know, like.
I mean, with all the money I'm saving, I can probably afford a mobile podcasting kit. Maybe I could like hook a microphone like to my shoulder, and do
And you could actually film all your you could film it as you're walking for TikTok and go viral on TikTok while you're walking, and just say you can do like TikToks where you're like, I save money by walking to work. I live 30 miles from the office. People would love that.
It is quite amazing how not viral we're going on TikTok.
Okay, so we've been talking about for a little while that we were trying to work on a game. Do you want to give the details, Jay?
Yeah, so it's a social card game. Think of like Cards Against Humanity meets Cranium.
Yes. Basically, we came up with the idea to make I guess a more adult version of Cranium. It's not like adult in the sense of like everything's about sex, but like just like a more like funny adult humor as opposed to like a kid oriented.
Yeah. I mean, there's some sexual stuff. There's some like drug references, but it's mostly just, I feel like more interesting, like Cranium will be like, draw a dog.
And Jay's like, draw an
house.
orgy.
But yeah, so
we
got 6 categories. We wrote 100 cards in each category, and we
so 600 cards we wrote. We've done nothing with it so far because one of us seems less motivated than the other. Any idea, Jay?
Gee, I wonder who that is.
Who's holding us back? Is it this guy?
I wonder who has endless amount of excuses to delay this process a month after month. We started this a year ago.
A year ago. So Jay's job is to keep us on track, and my job is to keep I am chief procrastination officer, and I have to keep things going. Like if it was not in my job title, Jay, I would move things forward, but I have to kind of delay things.
I had a 3-month plan for the game, and then we were supposed to come out with a newsletter that I thought would launch also in 3 months, and Mark talked me into launching it in January, and now it's the following June, and no newsletter yet.
Which January was I talking about?
There you go. I should have been way more specific.
I have dropped the ball completely. Jay is shocked by my inability to help out at all. But anyway, we have 6 categories. What are the categories, Jay?
So it's 2 truths and a lie, would you rather, charades, Pictionary, taboo, and top 5s. So
Okay.
you might
And
recognize a bunch of these from Brink episodes.
Yeah. So we took a lot of things we've done in Brink, and we're trying to. At some point, this game will launch, and you will be able to be the one and only person that buys the game. Jay, what's your optimistic view of this game, like in terms of how it will do?
I guess it depends who gets to produce it. So I'm sending out an email tomorrow morning to the person I want to work with, and if he works with it, I think the game will be a success.
Is it Drake?
It's Drake. I've deleted all the episodes where I say I hate Drake, and so he'll never find out about my true feelings for him.
Jay, you do know. I mean, Jay is emailing someone in the game universe, the game world, like someone who actually makes games professionally, and he has some other people he's emailing also. But Jay, if Drake actually wanted to work with us, that would be the greatest thing that ever happened to our game and to our lives.
Oh, of course.
Wouldn't it be great, Jay, if like you had like somehow Drake found out about it and wanted to produce it, and for the rest of your life you had to fake liking Drake songs because like he basically allowed you to become rich.
The game blows up and we have to go to like these celebrity events, and our intro song has to be a Drake song.
Yeah, and also every day you have to have endless conversations with people being like, "No, my favorite song by him is God's fucking. I hate this."
So
Jay,
our plan was to
wait.
Yep.
Okay, would you get a Drake tattoo
No.
for him to promote the game?
No.
Really?
Yeah.
What about on your back? No one's gonna see it. It'll just be a Drake tattoo, and he will promote the game. Like that would there's nothing that would be amazing for the game.
I would let you get a Drake tattoo.
I'm saying I'll get matching tattoo with you. I'll get one also. We'll both get on our
No,
back.
you won't.
Yeah, I'll come. I will meet you.
You'll pull one of those you go first bullshits. I know you.
I can't believe you actually went first. I'm out of here. You wouldn't do it just to get just to get Drake to promote?
No, I
like I mean, you don't think that would be unbelievable for the game?
Why don't you get a Drake tattoo on your back and then tag Drake on Twitter and be like, "Look, I'm ready to work with you, man. Look what I already did."
I already did that for the next podcast. You've seen my Drake tattoo. Come on, Jay.
So we decided let's sample some of these on TikTok, and maybe we'll get a following on there, and it'll be easier to sell the game if we can say, "Oh, we have 1 million followers on TikTok."
Well, basically, the idea was to sell the game. You need an audience. It would be great to have an audience you could sell to, like people that like your product, that like a natural people. Like we have the podcast. Outside of like 2 people that live in Australia, there's like no one that like is a natural audience for our game. So we figured if we build up a newsletter, and then I said, well, for a newsletter, what if we build up a following on social media, then we can promote the newsletter and then promote the game via social media. And so Jay, what's been going on TikTok, Jay? Jay also I thought you were frightened of the Chinese.
Well, you weren't making any TikToks, so I had to do it.
I made a couple one of my TikToks got 800 plus views.
Yeah, in December, and then you didn't make one since. You did exactly what. Now I see where your son gets it from. You made a TikTok and then quit forever.
His video, by the way, that he made $6,000 from, I think had something like across of 2 days had over 600,000 views.
Okay, so
we've never done anything to have that many views.
My TikToks are not quite getting to 600,000.
You should pretend my son's video had a fake scissor and a real scissor. Maybe you should do that.
And then
this is a real scissor. This is a fake scissor. Let the money roll in.
And did he say like which one? Like, is it like guess which one's real?
It just said which one. I don't understand. I've seen the video a million times. I don't understand at all. It was like one of them is clearly the fake one. Like it's not even like a question which one's fake. But he caught a trend and made $6,000.
Okay.
So anyway, we've been trying to find ways to. So we also noticed something with Twitter, right, Jay? We're trying to get our Twitter profile following going.
Yeah, almost equal amount of success.
Okay, so I recently started. I've had some success on the Knicks one though.
Yes,
we've added like 500 something like 500 new followers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Which is true. I noticed something with their algorithm. If you make a tweet and add a picture, for some reason that picks up more traction. And we went from having our tweets having very little traction to having every day having tweets with 50 to 100,000 views, if not more. There was one with Julius Randle that had over 400,000 views.
Crazy.
Crazy. And so now when we tweet on the Knicks one, every other day we have one that gets at least 50,000 views. How's it going on Brink, Jay? You're in charge of the Brink count, right?
Yeah, yeah. So not as successful as that, I would say. 20, 25
views, just total.
Yeah, not 1,000. No, just views.
So Jay decided that we should, or we talked about it, and we should see if the blue check mark will help. We may do the blue check mark for the Knicks later in the summer, but we tried it for Brink, and it just started today. And Jay had his first viral tweet. You have a tweet on there that says, it's related. Why don't you tell people what it is?
So it's the new Apple AI, and they're selling it for $3,500, which is insane. But
yes, completely insane. By the way, last June for my son's birthday, I got him an Oculus, the Oculus 2. We agreed it was really cool. He was really into it. He has not touched it in like 6 months.
I knew that was going to happen.
I mean, like it's I don't know if these products are that like. I've seen how easy how not into it he is. I'm wondering. And he was into it for a little while.
What was the other thing you got that?
PlayStation. He only plays once in a while.
There was that. I thought you got something else for the PlayStation,
Oh, we got like this like dance thing.
Oh yeah. That's what you had to get the camera for it.
Yeah, we got the camera for it. We bought it was a Dance Revolution. We got the camera for it.
Just Dance, right?
Just Dance. What a stupid fucking game. I even paid for an extra pack of music for an extra $20.
I told you it was going to be like a one-time thing.
Playing it was a one-time thing. They've never played it since.
I know. I told you.
One night.
I told you that was going to happen.
Holy shit. My daughter likes dancing and we don't play the goddamn game. My son will use the PS4 once in a while. He's not like, he'll play more video games on his phone than he'll play some things on the PS4. Some of his friends come over and play stuff on the PS4. I don't know. The Oculus, like he has one friend that they sometimes the friend will come over with the Oculus and they'll both play Oculus together.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't need the Oculus that much. I think they don't have the best games for it.
Yeah. I think I'm gonna get the PlayStation VR 2.
I mean, that might be better. When's that coming out?
It's out.
Oh, okay. How much is that one?
It's I think it's like 500.
That still seems like a lot. I have no idea what's the deal with the Apple one. $3,500. What the hell does it do?
You ever see Ready Player One?
Yeah, I don't think it does that.
Well, I think that's what they're trying to tell you it does.
I like it's. They were talking about how like you can. I was reading how like you can see the real like some of it's like overlay where you can see the real world, but with like stuff in it. Like you can see the real world, but also have like images on the thing. Like normally you're just immersed into the thing, right?
Yeah.
But they have altered reality basically, where you can see the regular real world, but you're never going to leave the house wearing this thing.
Right.
It's not like Google Glass where the idea was you walk around in general public. This is just sitting in your living room. I mean, the graphics, how much better could the graphics be? I don't know.
I don't know. I don't think it's going to do well. Definitely not at that price point.
Yeah. I mean, they said they don't expect it to be a huge seller, but they're trying to, the hope is that people make lots of apps for it, and eventually it'll start. I imagine they'll make a cheaper version. This will be the high-end version, and they'll come up with a cheaper version later.
Yeah. Oh, well, no, they'll probably just, everything starts out at a higher price, and then they lower it.
Didn't I just say that? Cheaper version?
No, you said cheaper version. Like, I thought you meant like, now it has worse graphics.
Now it's just a pair of 3D glasses.
Right. So I don't know. I guess investors didn't feel great about it because their stock went down by $5 today.
No. I mean, it just doesn't like $3,500 is a real. I mean, at some point we all were like, a music player for $400? This iPod sounds ridiculous. But this does seem like a another level in price where people are not going to like
I
just
just feel
get
like
this.
people have been pushing virtual reality for like 10 years and it hasn't caught on. It was kind of
Um,
like the 3D movies. Like every few years they try and bring that back to the theaters and nobody gives a shit.
I would have been more excited if instead of Apple launching this today, it was Pornhub, because at least then you'd be like, oh, I get it.
Well, I mean, porn's going to be the first thing everybody does on it. But
I mean, I had to assume like that's like, why isn't Pornhub launching their own? People be like, is that the Pornhub? Is that the Pornhub Oculus? No.
they don't need to launch their own. They just need to come out with an app that's compatible with this thing.
Yeah, I feel like, what are the purposes you can see for the for like these VR headsets? What real purposes
I guess
besides video games? Like playing
planning
games?
planning traveling so you can log into Paris and do a virtual walkthrough of whatever is in Paris.
Whatever. Jay's so cultured. He's like, whatever they got there, they have Paris stuff.
You look at all that Paris stuff through the Oculus or Vision
Yeah,
Pro.
you
as it's
see
called.
enough Paris there, bitch.
This is very Parisy.
Um, okay. I imagine like you can do. I've heard like a flight simulator if you're like an airplane pilot.
That's like the first thing every virtual reality has done.
I mean, it's the five uses are flight simulator,
Driving
Porn?
driving simulator.
porn.
Mhm.
I think porn is by far the best version of it, right?
Yeah, but Pornhub already has that.
They already have they already have a VR headset.
They have 3D videos, and if you have a VR headset, it works. So you don't.
Do you have a VR headset?
I don't. I don't. But
Your wife's is like, Jay, you're playing that VR game a lot, and why are your pants off?
but yeah, I don't think it's gonna do well. Anyway,
Oh yeah, Jay sent out a tweet. This is your most viral tweet. It has like 200,000 views,
yeah, yeah.
and we added with 200,000 views, we added one new follower,
We added check right 6.
6 new followers, 6 more people to sell. I assume if they like your tweet about VR headsets being too expensive, they will like our board game.
I'll be sure to include that in the with my investor email.
So we've been trying to figure out social media. I've got something we figured out with the Knicks side, at least adding like getting our tweets getting a lot more interaction. Jay, what is your idea for how we're going to get more interaction with the blue checked Brink? Twitter.
So you think that this tweet took off because of the blue check?
Holy shit, Jay. Jay's like, this was completely independent of the blue check. And just when we got the blue check, it took off, but it's unrelated.
Well, I got the idea to comment on a trending topic, and so I think it's because I commented on a trending topic.
Right. So the first tweet we've ever had go viral from Brink, and it completely, and we had a blue check mark at the time for the first time.
How many? How
when
many
did the
times
blue
have you commented on a trending topic?
Jay, when did the blue check mark go active?
We already had a couple hundred likes on this tweet when it went active.
Or as it went active like it was already in their algorithm for going active before the blue check mark showed up, Jay.
This is the worst thing that could have happened. Is going.
Jay is so proud of this tweet. He's like, it has nothing to do with the blue check mark. I'm just really good at this.
Can't you just be happy for like 5 minutes, you miserable bastard?
Jay, I've been doing this for the last 2 months on the Knicks Twitter. Where's my applause?
And there's no blue check, so there you go.
Yeah. It means the Knicks one gets traction, and the Brink one was invisible before today. Jay could have written out a carefully worded plan to assassinate the president, and no one would ever find out until he did it. You
Okay,
put government secrets on the Brink Twitter account prior to today.
So if it's the blue check, then how do you explain the 2 truths and a lie I posted an hour ago that has a whopping total of 28 views?
I would say it's our shitty tweets still don't go anywhere because we don't really have an audience. Like there's no the Knicks one at least has an audience of people that want to see Knicks stuff. The Brink. First of all, we have a lot less followers on the Brink, and no one that follows on Brink cares what we're tweeting, for the most part.
Yeah, I think we have hardly any followers because it says we have a few hundred, but we've been on Twitter so long. I think most of those are deactivated accounts
or bots.
No, I think mostly just deactivated accounts. I think at one point they were real followers, and like 15 years later, most of those people quit Twitter.
Jay unfollowed 60 accounts today just to keep our numbers, like our ratio, a little better.
It was embarrassing.
Everything about Brink is embarrassing.
Yeah, a little bit. Anyway, I have a work story.
Yeah, let's see if it works. But I like your idea of doing trending topics. It's not a bad idea. Maybe it'll start taking off. You don't admit the blue check might have given your post a little bit of a boost?
No, because it didn't give any of the other posts today a boost. I posted 6 things today, and that was the only one that took off.
Yeah, well, maybe your post would have had 27 views. Maybe it would have had 7 views.
Well, that's not worth $8.
For $8, you get 8 extra views. I'm wondering if the Knicks one, because the Knicks one's gotten a lot of views. I wonder if it would make a huge difference in the Knicks one.
I think it was that the Knicks were in the playoffs.
I don't know. We're still getting the views. I mean, not quite as many, but like my question about should the Knicks sign Jay Crowder got like 50,000 views.
Yeah, I don't know.
But you stand firm that the blue check had nothing to do with your viral tweet.
Yeah, because none of the other ones today did anything. Ones that I did after I confirmed the check was there. So
before we pay for the blue check, we had 0.
Mm-hmm.
And now after we have a viral tweet. Okay. Why don't the fans vote on this? Why don't you ask on Twitter and ask, is the blue check mark helping us?
No, I don't think I'm going to do that.
What else is going on, Jay?
So at my job, I have to go into the office 4 days a week,
okay.
which is awesome. I love it. Anyway.
Well, how many days a week did you go into your job before COVID, Jay?
5.
Okay, so you're going to the office only 80% of the time that you were going in before.
Yes.
Are you happy?
So they got this I don't know, what is the new one? Gen Z? Is that the new Gen A?
Younger people. They have younger people. Go on.
Yeah, so they hired this young kid, and he's going to school and he's working, and he kept making up all these excuses to not come into the office. And
can I pretend to be him?
Sure.
Ring. Hello? Ring. Someone answer the phone.
You don't use phones.
Ring.
You're a Gen Z.
Ring.
You don't use phones. You text.
Ring. I'm using
what do you
phone
want?
Thing.
Yes. Hello.
You know you could talk into this thing? Anyway, it's crazy. You could talk to this. Is like insane. It's amazing. Anyway, I can't come into work today because I've learned how to send viral tweets. I quit. Go fuck yourself.
Well, that escalated quickly.
Okay, fine. I'll do a Gen Z. Hello, ring.
You have to talk in like memes. You have to be like no cap, and
my son does that.
I'm still trying to figure out.
Cap. My ring is a cap.
Yes.
Cap.
Yes, meme lord.
Okay. I don't think I can come into work. I need a personal relaxation day. I've been stressed out.
Is this like where you go into your safe space?
You're asking questions. I need a second day.
Sounds like you were triggered.
You said triggered. I need a third day.
Yeah,
I'm suing. Hostile work environment.
So anyway, this kid kept up making excuses, and I didn't see him.
How do you know they're not real? Maybe all 5 of his grandmothers died.
He was out for like 6 straight weeks. That's a lot of excuses. I forgot he even worked there.
Okay.
So he was saying like, he has a test or something, or like he's got to study. And I'm like, bitch, I just took the CPA while I was working full time. You're like in undergrad and you're complaining about like, a test, whatever. Anyway, so the boss gave him an ultimatum. Like, you got to come in at least twice a week. Like, this is ridiculous.
Wow. So wait, the kid has to only come in twice a week. You have to come in 4 days a week.
I don't think he worked 5 days a week anyway.
Okay.
I think he only worked 3.
Okay.
So they're like, you got to come in 2 days a week. And so he came in like once, and then he made excuses for like 2 or 3 more times in a row. So he was out like another week and a half.
I have another excuse. I don't like this job. Bye.
So the boss was like, well, you can't be trusted to bring home your laptop now. So at the end of every day, you have to give Jay your laptop. And then you have to ask for it in the morning when you come in. I'm like, how did I get roped into this shit? This is like embarrassing. So
you're like his babysitter?
Yeah. I have to literally like put his laptop in my desk drawer like a teacher punishing a student who is like texting during class.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
How's that going?
Well, here's how it's going. The very first day, he gave me his laptop. I put it in my desk. And then he didn't show up for 2 weeks. So
fine, you're going to hold the laptop? I'm just not going to do any work.
Yeah. So we all thought he quit. We deactivated his account. Like, he was basically fired.
Wait, was he an intern, or
Yeah.
like was he actually working?
He was like a paid intern.
Okay.
So yeah, we basically, like, he got fired, and then he shows up like 2.5 weeks later, and he comes in early, which he never does, and he starts going into
Wait, he never comes in, or just never comes in early?
When he comes in, he shows up at like 10 o'clock, and so he comes in at like 8 in the morning, and he starts going into my desk, and my boss is like, "What are you doing?" And he's like, "Oh, I'm here to work." He's like, "You didn't show up for like weeks, and like you didn't answer my texts. Like, you can't work here anymore." And he's like, "What happened? Like, I texted you, you never responded." And he goes, "Oh, I forgot." He forgot.
Not even trying.
He forgot to work for 2 weeks. He forgot he had a job for 2 weeks.
I forgot.
That was his excuse. I forgot to work for weeks on end.
I thought I forgot to respond to your text. But what was it like? Do you like your boss had to have asked a follow-up question like, what's wrong with you?
Well, my boss was basically like, well, since you didn't show up for 2.5 weeks, we deactivated your account. So, you can't work here anymore. And he goes, "Oh, that's okay. My friends are playing volleyball today, so I can just go play volleyball with them." And then he left.
That's okay. I'm just going to play volleyball.
Yeah. I've never heard anything like this in my entire life.
And people say the young people don't have a work ethic. I mean,
I know,
this person like
Can't believe it.
immediately leaves his job he's fired from and goes to a volleyball game. He is driven. Holy shit.
I've never seen anybody give less of a fuck about their job.
You haven't been showing up to work for 3 weeks. You're fired. Oh. Yeah, why didn't you respond to our text? I forgot. About the text? No, the job. Well, you can't work here. I'm going to go play volleyball.
That's literally pretty much it, word for word.
Holy shit. Wow. He's awesome.
Like, the funny thing is, they weren't going to renew his contract at the end of the month anyway. So all he had to do was show up to work like 4 more times, and he could have like had a reference. But instead, he just like completely burns his bridge.
I so hope he asks for a letter recommendation.
Oh my God, that would be so funny.
What if he asks you?
Absolutely not. No.
No? You wouldn't give him a hilarious reference?
I'm not putting my name on the line for somebody who forgets to work for weeks on end. No.
What if you say, "I will do it, no problem," and then he's like, "Hey, did you do the letter of reference? Oh, I forgot, dickhead."
And he's like, "Can you do it now?" And I'm like, "No, I'm going to go play volleyball with some friends."
Wow. That's a future president.
Yeah, yeah. So
Yeah.
since I didn't have any bad work stories about myself, I figured I'd give an enjoyable
That's
one about
amazing.
somebody
It's
else.
amazing, Jay, that you actually have like now like funny work stories that don't involve you like in daily pain.
Yeah, yeah. It's
That's just a normal work story.
quite a change, huh? Well, that's not a normal work story, but it's
I mean, it's normal in the sense of like this weird things happen at the job, but don't like it didn't. It's not about you being like this place is insufferable. I may bring a gun to work tomorrow.
right. Like I
Like,
got
that's the most.
gaslit for 5 straight hours today.
Yeah. Do you think you can go back to your old job because the stories were much better? I mean, that's a pretty good story, but I feel like you're going to be out of stories now.
I was thinking how much money it would take me to go back to my old job. I don't think I would go back for less than $250,000. It was that bad. Like
You think you would go there every day for $250,000?
for like a year or two, and then I would quit again. But like,
What if you have to sign a 5-year contract?
No.
And you get 250
No.
a year,
no,
300 a year for 5 years?
no, I don't think I could do that job for five. Not with those people.
No. What? At some point, like if I offered you $40 million, you'd go there.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. So what number? What number would get you? What's the lowest number to get you to go back there for 5 years?
$500,000
$500,000
a year.
But for 250, you'd go there for like 2 years.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So Jay's company, which I'm not sure if we're allowed to mention on the show yet,
No,
hire him back for 250 for the sake of the podcast.
I am not allowed to mention their name. They made me sign an NDA.
I don't think they actually did.
They did.
They said you're not allowed to mention it on the podcast.
They made me sign an NDA that said I'm not allowed to talk ill of their company.
Yeah. Okay, fine.
After they gaslit me and then fired me for no reason, I'm not allowed to talk bad about them. That's why they have so many good reviews on like LinkedIn and Glassdoor. They laid off 1,000 people and made them all sign statements saying they wouldn't write a bad review.
Okay, I'm gonna tell everyone. I'm tired of everyone not knowing. The company that's really evil to Jay is the American Cancer Society.
So what I did is I wrote my bad review and then I submitted the NDA. So
I
gotcha.
Oh, okay. I was kidding about the American Cancer Society, but you know what? So my wife made a donation to the American Cancer Society for someone we know who passed away, and we got a letter from the American Cancer Society. And what do you think the letter said that we got after my wife made the donation?
Thanks. Can we have some more?
It's exactly
Yeah.
the
That's what they all
letter
do.
thanking you. Literally, the letter thanking you for your donation as an envelope for you to send more money.
Yeah. Yeah, I know that
I'm-
because I did that to my college. I gave
I
them a
mean-
very small donation, and they're like, "Thanks. How about more?"
I mean, the gall not to send a second letter thereafter. You can't just send a thank you letter and just leave it.
Mm-hmm. Well, the grad school I went to did the same thing, but they made the mistake of including an envelope with prepaid postage on it.
Why
So,
was that a mistake?
because I wrote them an entire letter and then I sent it back to them on their dime.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I congratulated them on the giant size of their balls to ask me for money after charging me so much for tuition. It was
I
like
gotta
it was a
feel-
whole rant. It was a long rant.
That person in marketing who's just like, hey, you know how we're saying a letter to thank people for it? What if we ask for money in that letter? Brilliant. Brilliant. You're getting a promotion.
So our email is thebrinkofsanity@gmail.com. Lorenzo writes, "Hey guys,
Lorenzo.
sincere apologies for no email last episode. I will do better." Well, sincere
Lorenzo.
apologies about not doing a last episode, Lorenzo. We will do better.
She's not doing the show in like months, but we are back now. The Knicks are off. Both of us are tired of the Knicks podcast for a little while. We are doing Brink going forward for at least a week.
Mark mentioned something about his kids going to summer camp for 7 weeks or something. Can you explain this, please, as it's not a thing in Australia? You just don't see your kids for that amount of time? That seems
Yes.
excessive as much as I might enjoy it.
Today's June 5th. My kids leave on June 25th for 7 weeks of sleepaway camp. During that time, they go to a camp upstate, I think about 2.5 hours from where we are now. We will only see the kids. You have 2 phone calls or video calls. We'll see them throughout the summer. And once we'll go there midway through the summer to see them in person for visiting day. And that's really it.
That's pretty crazy.
Jay, did you do sleepaway camp?
No, never.
Okay, I didn't either. It is kind of crazy. This will be my daughter's first summer and my son's third summer. He had the time of his life the first 2 summers. It was like he could not be happier like there versus here. I don't know. I mean, like it's kind of a weird concept to have your kids go away for that long of a period of time.
Yeah.
What as someone who does not have kids, Jay, what's your reaction to that concept?
I think it depends on the age. Like when they're younger, I would probably miss them. And then when they're a little older, I'd be like, this is a nice break.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, my son will be 12 and my daughter 9. I don't know. It's so basically in camp, basically for our Australian listeners or anyone else doesn't know, like the kids basically they stay in like bunks. They're with a bunch of other kids and do all outdoors activities, and they're on a lake, and they have like the time of their lives. It's a very out like there's lots of sports, there's arts and craft, there's all different activities you can do. It seems like if you had the opportunity like to go to an adult camp for like 7 weeks, you'd probably think it's awesome. Like I think it would be like such a fun thing to do for like I think they have like a trend where like there's like adult camps now where people go away for like a long weekend basically with their adult friends.
Yeah, 7 weeks is a long time.
All the camps, they used to be 8 weeks. Now they're all 7 weeks. There are some that are shorter, but this is like the whole summer. I don't know. It's going to be really
very expensive.
They're not cheap, Jay. Did you know that?
It sounds really expensive.
Oh my God. Holy shit. Should I say how much it is?
Sure.
Do you want to guess how much do you think it's going to cost for me to send 2 kids to summer camp this week? So it's a sleepaway camp this summer. This is an insane amount of money.
I'm going to say $14,000.
For one.
For one. Okay.
It's close to basically $30,000 for the summer.
Wow.
Is that insane?
That is pretty insane. That's also something I just would not be able to afford.
I have to say this is like the dumbest. I never in a million years thought we'd be doing this, and now we do this. I don't. A lot of the kids, a lot of the friends, a ton of kids around here all go to sleepaway camp. My wife, she went to sleepaway camp growing up, and one day she told me her kids are going to sleepaway camp, so that's what they're doing. I don't know.
You're sitting here buying bootleg China valve caps to save $1. And then your wife is like, guess what? We're spending 30 grand this summer.
Holy shit. Yeah. It is. I can't even fucking believe how much money it is. Like I like, that's like the cost. And actually I would say it's the cost of college, but college is so much more expensive these days. But it is insane though, right?
I mean, that's like a year. Well, depending on what college. That was my entire like grad school.
Well, do you know how much colleges cost now? Like the sticker price at least?
I mean, I think it's about 14 a semester, right? Well, depending on the college.
The private schools, like the going rate, I think that some of the schools are like $80,000 to $85,000 now.
A semester?
A year.
A year.
I guess.
So you come out of there with like $350,000 of debt.
Yeah, and then you jump off a bridge.
Holy shit.
It doesn't make, I think they give away, I mean, supposedly they give away like scholarships and merit and all that, and no one pays the sticker price, but I'm sure we'll pay the sticker price. I have no idea. That's also why I'm like, our kids can't go to a private school like that because it just makes no sense.
Right. Like I went to Northeastern and I didn't pay full price, but even without paying full price, I ended up paying off my loans like last year.
Yeah. Well, the state schools are a much better deal.
Yeah. Like
that's why I'm pushing state school.
Yeah. I mean, I'm down to like 7,000 left on my grad school loans already. And like, cause I went to a state school.
Yeah. That makes a lot more sense. I mean, it's one thing if you get into Harvard, great, but we're not getting into Harvard, so we're
right. Lorenzo writes, "Hey guys, what are your thoughts on Lego and the fact that set pieces used to have details printed on the block? Now you have to stick a sticker onto a blank block for the tiny details. For example, the number on the side of a Lego race car. Your kids will put the sticker on crooked, and the whole Lego set now looks like shit." He said,
"Oh, you're saying the Legos used to have the decals on them already?"
Yeah,
I didn't even know that actually.
Yeah.
Wow,
that sucks. Yeah, because some of those set pieces have a ton of decals and stickers you got to put on, and kids are doing it, and they're gonna put them on crooked. Do they even have like? When I was a kid, that was my least favorite part, putting the decals on stuff.
I remember all of my experience of Legos growing up was that you just got a box of Legos and you just made stuff.
Well, yeah, when we were
And
kids,
that-
it was a tub of parts. But I'm just talking about anything. Like, I just sold my old Transformers. I didn't like putting decals on the Transformers. You know, the arms had stickers, the legs had stickers. And even as a kid, I skipped that. So I found the sticker intact with all the stickers on it, and I just sold it for $40 online.
Okay, so
I'm glad I
You
didn't
sell
play
a
with
co-
the stickers, but like even as a kid, I didn't find it fun.
but yeah, now everything's like a Lego project where like you're gonna make this village and here are the instructions you have to follow, and then once you're done with it, you're kind of done with the Legos.
Yeah, they made their own product disposable, which is brilliant on their part. And I guess the
Brilliant.
new generation doesn't like to use their imagination or think on their own, so it works for both sides.
I mean, we have a giant, like a huge bin of Legos, but like they tend to like the. And my son doesn't do it as much. My daughter now does them, but like she's more into the projects, and like they're like, well, why don't you just figure out a new project with the giant bucket we have?
Yeah, like everyone was able to do for decades. Like we just had here's 1,000 pieces, make something.
It's also Legos. They have sponsorship with like everything, so it's
Mhm.
like make your Barbie castle, make your Spider-Man cat. Like it's, I mean, what a goddamn business.
I know. I went to Comic-Con. I got this little package, which was like a Captain America Lego Comic-Con special set, and it only had like 6 pieces.
No.
Sold that. I got a bunch of money. So.
I'm trying to sell my daughter's dollhouse. I've gotten no interest whatsoever on Facebook Marketplace.
Try eBay. Different.
Maybe that's right. I don't want to. It's too big to ship. Someone has to pick it up here.
Yeah. Then I guess try Nextdoor or iOffer.
It's also like I'm like. Then my wife's like, "Well, just give it away for free." I'm like, "Well, I don't want to meet a stranger for if I have to give it away for free. Like, I might as well just throw it away then." Like, I actually don't want it to go to waste, but I also just don't want to meet a stranger. So it's kind of it's a hard balance.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, I'm gonna coordinate. Like, when can I pick it up? It's free. Just fucking take it when. Like, I'm gonna leave it outside and just get it now.
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough.
Yeah, what if I'm gonna give it away for free? I meet someone and they stab me, and I'm like, I'm dying because I had to give away this Lego thing, this dollhouse.
And last email from Mr. C. How you doing,
Wow.
Mr. C? We got to meet him. He was very cool.
Yes.
Hey guys, thought you'd enjoy this article. A government official dropped his phone in a reservoir while taking a selfie, and then ordered they drained the reservoir to get it back during a water shortage. And the phone was dead when he got it back.
Would the phone be dead? It's in water.
He said, "Have you ever seen anybody abuse their power like that? That is so ballsy to drain. It's a phone. You're gonna
Isn't
spend
everything-
like thousands of dollars of taxpayer dollars during a water shortage. Yeah, that's unbelievable.
You know, the thing is, people that in government jobs, much like people that are not in government jobs, are all pieces of shit.
Yes. What an
Jay,
absolute piece of shit.
I have a series of news stories I've collected since we haven't done a show in a while. Can I give a quick version of every one of them?
Or we can do a longer version of a couple of them, and we'll have material for next episode, which we're doing soon.
Fuck that. I'm gonna do my quick version of everything. Okay, speed through this. Jay, did you know that how bad is it to be isolated, Jay?
I don't think it's that bad.
Okay, so
I was loving
according to
quarantine during COVID, by the way.
studies have estimated that the impact of social isolation on mortality is similar to that caused by smoking up to 15 cigarettes a day.
Those people don't have hobbies.
I mean, that's got to be like the worst study. There's no way this study's real. I mean, not that it's real. There's no way this study's accurate.
I mean, I guess that if you're like isolated, like I'm in an empty room, but like if you have like a Hulu or Netflix and like a bunch of books and a PlayStation, you're not going to be bored.
That or 15 cigarettes a day is not as bad for me as I thought.
Yeah, or that. Yeah.
Like apparently 15 cigarettes a day is actually like fine for you.
Right. It just takes like 10 minminutes off your life. And it's the worst 10
Yeah.
minutes anyway.
Jay, Utah, I don't know if you know about this, or what's going on with our country, but Utah is allowing school districts as of 2022 to ban pornographic or indecent books from school. Is that a good idea?
You would say in theory that's a good idea, but you know they're just considering everything pornographic, right?
Do you know what book they're banning now under that law?
Is it
The
going to be like-
Bible.
Good. That is hilarious. That is very funny.
It's the King James Bible. At the time it was passed, someone asked this question, and one lawmaker was said, what was it? They basically said that's outlandish. No one will ever try to ban the Bible. A year later, the Bible's been banned.
That's awesome.
Fucking amazing.
I mean, there is a lot of terrible, terrible stuff that in there that kids probably shouldn't be reading.
Right, but the entire reason they're banned, they're doing the book ban is because of the Bible in the first place.
Yeah, I know.
That's why it's fucking amazing.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I think it's out of the like whatever school district it is. It's out of it's out of the elementary schools, but still, I think the high school.
Mm-hmm.
Also, my other next news story is Jay, would you buy a TV? I guess not buy it. Would you have a TV in your house that's free? The only thing is the bottom of the TV is a long rectangle, the length of the TV that just shows you ads.
Oh no.
There's a hardware startup called Telly that launches a free smart TV entirely supported by ads. And you have the regular giant TV, but below there is a like rectangle that shows you ads throughout your viewing.
Is it like in the screen or is it in front of the TV?
No, they have a picture of it. And like the picture basically it's a regular size TV screen, the 55-inch TV, but below the TV is basically like a rectangle.
So like where a sound, it's like the shape of a sound
it's
bar.
It's below the sound bar, basically.
Can't you just put a towel over it?
I mean, couldn't you just put, yeah, I mean, also, couldn't you just put below your, like you have like a setup, basically, you just put it on the wall and put something in front of that, yeah.
Well, that's not too bad. Or put it upside down so it's just shining into the table.
Can you imagine you put a towel on it and the towel heats up and like burns down your house? And your like wife's like, you fucking couldn't buy a TV. You had to get the free TV.
I mean, they must have some way to know that you're not, like if you put it face down or something, they must have some sort of, they can't be that dumb, right? They would have to have some way to know that you're not watching the ads.
You say they can't be that dumb. They've launched a free TV supported by ads. Clearly this company's going out of business very soon. So yeah, maybe they don't know.
Does the TV stop working if you disable the ad thing?
Probably, yeah, of course.
Because like if the company goes under, then you just have to throw out the whole TV.
They claim the TV has $1,000 retail value, but you get it for free just because they're going to show you ads.
Some of those free streaming sites have some really good stuff, but what I found out is that they are free because they don't save any of your information. So I got halfway through a 2-hour movie, and I wanted to watch the rest the next day, and I had to fast forward to that part. But it stopped at every designated ad section for that first hour. So it was like 20 minutes of me just fast forwarding and then watching ads and then fast forwarding and watching ads.
Nothing makes me angrier than like I want to watch a show, I DVR it. For some reason the DVR like gets messed up and the DVR and I can't play it back. And then I'm forced to watch it on demand.
Yeah.
But on demand, I can't fast forward.
Yep.
And I was like halfway through the show and I'm like, I did everything right. Now I have to fucking sit through this.
Yep. So if you're using like Tubi or something and you watch a movie, watch the whole movie in one sitting, or you're going to watch like 20 minutes of ads before you get to where you were.
Yeah. Next article in my fast through articles. There's a chatbot service. I think we use this on the show called Replica.
Okay.
And Replica allows you to talk to avatars that are powered by AI So you can have a deep relationship with an avatar, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So they created a firestorm, or this was back in March, but they created a big issue because they removed erotic role play for some users, and people were like, "That's the only thing we're using this for."
Yeah, what else are you going to use it for?
I have no idea, but apparently, basically, there was a huge issue, and they basically said anyone who enrolled prior to February 1st gets to keep the erotic role play.
They're like, whoa, we didn't think you were going to do that with it.
They're like, I don't understand. Is there another use for this?
Wow. I mean, I honestly wouldn't know what else you could. Oh, I guess they thought it was just going to be for lonely people to just talk to.
I guess so. Yes, exactly. In Asia, these stories are completely unrelated, but in Tokyo, there are people who are taking smiling lessons as society begins to go maskless. So people have, because they've been wearing a mask for 3+ years, they've forgotten how to smile. And there are people that are doing smiling classes because everyone's got to make $1, teaching people how to smile.
They weren't smiling at home or with their families or watching a comedy show. Like nobody was smiling.
Participants used hand mirrors to check their smiles. Moving and relaxing the facial muscles is the key to making a good smile.
How do you not smile for so long that you forget how to smile?
Yeah.
You never thought of something funny randomly and started like smiling? Like,
I don't know. If our government made us wear masks for 3 years, I guess you stopped smiling.
I guess. I don't know. I was liking the whole mask thing, to be honest.
I have to say, you know what people, it's like sometimes people will say, like, I want to go back in time. Like, if I go back in time, I would stop COVID from ever happening. Kind of like you go back and like stop JFK from being assassinated.
Mm-hmm.
I would go back and make COVID happen like when I was in like junior high. Because like that would be the greatest period of time to have to wear a mask.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, I look awkward. I'm wearing a mask.
I mean, I say I like the mask thing because I think I make a lot of like disappointed faces at people. Like I see somebody with a selfie stick and I was like, and like with the mask on, you can't see it as much.
Okay. North Carolina, Jay, seeks to ban participation trophies for kids.
Good.
I don't think good. I say fuck you, North Carolina.
Yeah, I say fuck those kids.
Why? Like what Jay, life has been so awesome since you were a kid. Like you couldn't have gotten some participation trophies as kids.
No, everyone's turning into an entitled brat and then they forget to go to work for weeks. This is what happens with participation trophies. Like,
if you gave the guy a participation trophy, maybe he'd come to work more often, Jay.
Oh, no, everyone's so soft now. They need to
gotta go to my job. I'm getting a trophy today for showing up. It's gonna be awesome.
You get a trophy for literally everything for like 18 straight years, and then life hits you like a brick wall, and you don't know how to handle it. You gotta learn how to lose for a little bit.
I think life already sucks on many levels. So give people trophies, make them a little happier.
I think life is 95% losing, and you need to get used to it as soon as possible.
Jay, did you get a participation trophy when you were growing up?
No, I didn't.
And see how you turned out. So like, fuck that. Give everyone participation trophies. They'll be happier adults.
It turned out great. What are you talking about? I have real trophies, damn it.
Jay, did you know that moderate drinking has no health benefits? Analysis of decades of research has found that. Okay. How do you convince people to do decades of research to have to figure out whether alcohol is good for you?
Did you know that drinking poison is not good for you?
Also, a related study, cocaine, not as good for you as people thought.
I mean, they're going to come out with a study next year that's going to be like, well, actually, like one a day is good for you.
I guess there used to be rumors or like studies that saying that like 2 drinks a day like of wine was good for women and men.
Yeah.
Turns out the Merlot Institute lied to us.
You know, they're going to reverse it anyway. How many times have they switched their stance on eggs over the years? Like every other year.
I'm not sure if eggs are good for you or not for you. I'm just sure. I just know eggs are better for you than alcohol.
I'm sure. I'm just saying, like, you know, 1 year eggs are good. One year you only should eat 1 a week. The next year you should eat 3 a day forever. And it's like nobody knows.
I love the Greg Rogel, the comedian, has an amazing joke. He's like they say you should not eat tuna more than twice a month. He's like, I know people that smoke cigarettes every day. How bad could tuna be for you?
Right.
He's so fun. I love Gregory Al. I don't know why he's not more famous. Jay, did you think alcohol had health benefits?
I don't care either way.
Okay. Jay, do you know the do you know the plot for Avatar the part 2, the movie?
You told me it's the same as part 1, but with a different. It was
But they're on water.
It was
basically.
water. Yeah, yeah.
So there's a whole like subplot there of these like giant. They're basically whales. They call them something else.
Right.
And one of the whales had like a bad thing happen to them, and then the whales basically like attack ships. So apparently in real, that's the movie. In real life, orcas, giant whales basically, are teaming up to attack boats off the coast of Portugal, and they've downed 3 boats.
Good. Fuck them.
And they think basically one of the orcas had some kind of trauma happen to it. And then orcas have a way of like communicating with each other. And so basically the plot of Avatar 2 is kind of happening off the coast of Portugal.
I like how they're like, it's whale infested waters. I'm like, no, they just live there.
That's well infested. Is that what they call it when the
The
settlers got to the US? They're like, these Indian or Native American infested country here. Let's get rid of these infestation.
Well, they said Indian because they were stupid
Fucking
as hell
moron.
and they thought they were in India. Fucking idiots.
It'd be great, like if you went to India and you were like, it's fucked up. You're calling them Indians. They're like, no, these people are really Indian. No, they're native. Where are we? You insist on calling them Native Americans when you're like, it's the wrong group, you moron.
Sorry, wrong continent.
Jay, I have a question. Have you ever bought an iPhone?
Yes.
Where did you buy it in the Apple store?
Yes.
Okay, how much did you tip the guy?
0.
It's fucked up, Jay. You wouldn't tip the guy?
You know, these people like scan something and then they turn the little thing around and it has like a tip option. It's like, fuck yourself.
A Maryland Apple store, which is unionized, one of the things they are fighting is they've asked for different things like higher wages. And one of the things they've suggested is they floated the idea of allowing tipping. They claim that a lot of people that buy phones or buy things in the Apple store are tipping already. So they wanted to give them the option on like the keypad, on the pad when they buy to tip. How do you feel about that, going to a store to buy an iPhone and then asking for a fucking 15% tip or 20% tip on top of your iPhone?
Yeah, hi, I'm buying this phone that's like 20% more expensive than any other phone on the market. But I also want to give extra money.
$600 or $700 for your phone. Oh, you're only giving me 20%? You didn't like the service? You're like, I'm gonna get a gun. I'm coming back with a gun.
Some of these phones are over 1,000.
Yeah.
The newest one, like souped up, you can pay like a $1,500.
I honestly think that if someone wants to like beat Biden and Trump for president, I think the entire platform should be tipping has gotten fucking out of control. The only people who will be allowed to be tipped in my new America will be waiters and waitresses. Fuck everyone else. And that person would win in a landslide.
I say fuck the waiters and waitresses too.
If you could just do away with tipping, I think you would get such a huge amount of voters.
I know everybody's like, oh, but then you'd pay $20 for a Big Mac. It's like, no, they're not selling one Big Mac an hour. It would raise the cost like a nickel at most.
Or if it raised it $1, I'm already fucking tipping. I'm already paying the money. You're just calling it a tip. Let me just pay. Like, let me know what the price is ahead of time.
It's simple math. They have 7 people working there. They sell about 200 burgers an hour. 200 divided by 7 is like 30 cents.
Okay. Also, or just make everything 20%. Make everything cost 20% more, and fucking leave me alone. So I don't need to figure this shit out anymore.
That too, yeah.
Also, just pay your fucking staff, and like everywhere you go, they fucking are asking for a tip. I'm surprised when you go to the doctor, they're not like, you're not going to tip the doctor.
When I had a waiting job in college, the manager would estimate my tips and put it on my like paycheck, so I would get taxed for my salary and my tips, and so I would get like checks for like 7 cents for the week.
I think you're supposed to be taxing your tips though.
Well, it wasn't fun when I got my paycheck, and it was
Okay, but then it's like Jay's like they tax me on my income. It's fucked up.
Well, I mean, I thought it was an unwritten rule that you're supposed to not do that.
What people do you think are more like who do you think you should tip besides like if I'm going to tip the Apple guy? Should you if you go to a doctor, shouldn't the doctor's like helping you live?
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot more important things.
If anything, should and like I don't know, shouldn't you tip your president?
I mean, I don't think scanning things and putting things in a bag is like, wow.
Okay, my last news story is every week we're gonna have a bit now called and maybe also this might be the last week of the bit but called the biggest piece of shit of the week.
Okay.
Do you want to know who the biggest piece of shit of the week is?
Sure.
There is a New Orleans high school senior who has now surpassed 9 million in scholarships and has gotten 180 college acceptance letters, breaking the national record.
Yeah, it's an asshole.
Why the fuck do you need to do that? Other people want to go to college. Every school's like, well, we're letting this guy in, so we're gonna let in one less kid. Or like at least they're like you're like holding everyone else up because you have to set some record. You're gonna go to one college, you don't need to apply to 180.
I hope all the colleges find out about that and they all pull it, and then she ends up with nothing.
It's a guy named Dennis Malik Barnes who's a 16-year-old who set this record. I'm sure he has amazing credentials and all that. Yeah, I think every school should like be like, oh, we didn't know you were doing this. Now that we see the news story, you can't come to Harvard or any of our fucking other schools because you're a giant asshole.
Yeah, agreed.
Like, why the fuck would you want to do this? Why the hell would you be like, I'm going to waste everyone's time so I can set a, like, also the scholarship, you're like, yeah, $9 million. I know college doesn't cost $9 million. So why the fuck are you doing this?
Internet clout. That's why everyone does everything now.
You're like, I did really well in school. How can I screw everyone else over?
That's a topic for next week because I got a bunch on that. But anyway, thank you for listening. The Brink of Sanity at gmail.com, Brink of Sanity 3 on Twitter, Brink of Sanity Show on TikTok. What else? Brink of Sanity on Instagram and
check out our Twitter because Jay is going to be blowing up a Brink Twitter and the TikTok are going to be crazy. And you'll be able to buy our board game in 6 to 9 years.
I'm sending out that email tomorrow morning. So,
okay. If he replies, that will be amazing. Though if Drake replied, that'd be better. Can you email Drake? Just send him a DM.
Okay.
Tweet at him. Is it okay if I tweet at Drake and ask him if he wants to work on the game with us?
Sure.
Okay.
I mean, we're done working on the game, but
we actually don't have a game yet. We have like cards that we haven't made yet. So there's a lot to go. Maybe Drake wants to come over and hang out at your place and like make the game together.
Ask him if he wants to partner up.
Okay.
All right. We'll be back soon. For real. Goodbye, everybody.
For real.
I love. Goodbye, everybody. It's all over. Goodbye. It's time to go. This is the end. Say goodbye. Go away. I'm gonna leave you. It's the end. Goodbye. Goodbye. Just leave me alone. Feels so good to say goodbye. I'm sick and tired and I'm saying goodbye. Goodbye, girl. Goodbye, goodbye, goodbye. Everybody.
All right.
Yeah, we did it. We did a Brink.
We did one.
Yeah, maybe next week we should see if third person wants to join, like Bri. Well, do you think Bri? What will happen first? We will launch the game, or Bri will come on our show.
He said he's getting close to wanting to come on again, whatever that means.
That's his way of saying no.
It's less of a hard no.
Less of a what?
A hard no.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's true.
Well, thanks for joining, everybody.